Welcome back again. We are trying to figure out if there are any technical difficulties. Thank you, Collin, for getting this stream back up and running. But we are currently in the top of the sixth. Giants, 2 runners in scoring position, as that is a foul ball from Aiden Marino. We have had 2 outs for almost the whole batting order.
Again, apologies for the technical difficulties here. It's been a difficult one, but we're back with a ball game.
Yes, I am sorry if you have missed this past inning. It's been a great one for the Giants. Marino with a shot down the third base line, however, far foul. That's some of the power that we were talking about earlier, something he's shown, hasn't received all his flowers for it yet. Finds himself in a full count.
And Marino already has a hit this inning. Looking to add to that in his bag and find this lead. That tying runs out on third after we saw pass by pitch led to the base runners advancing.
Yeah, so 3-2, 2 outs, runners on second and third. So a chance for the Giants to take the lead. A lead they lost all the way back in the first inning. And that one too low. Marino loads the bases once again. This brings up top of the lineup Nate Henley, a man who has been on base, as I mentioned, much more than he hasn't been. Big guy to come up, started this game with a big double.
And he finds himself in a fantastic situation. Although there's 2 outs, that hasn't stopped Gaithersburg this entire game.
Yeah, so I mean, every run has been scored with 2 outs. As you mentioned, Marino and Zach White were the only guys to get on base without 2 outs being recorded. First strike one that Henley watched fly by.
Again, apologies for the technical difficulties on today's stream and missing the action, but we hope to bring you the end of the game.
Another foul ball from Henley there, so quickly down 0-2. Some life from the Thunderbolts dugout again. Oh, 0-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Giants 9, T-Bolts 10. Gretzky versus Henley. Swing and a miss from Henley, so the T-Bolts escaped this inning with the lead, however, gave up a lot. 6 runs this inning from the Giants, and as Collin mentioned, we have a game here again at Montgomery Blair High School. We will see if the T-Bolts have a response to the 6-run inning from the Giants when we return on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Then we have a winner in our trivia contest.
Your tape.
Oh, so thank you. Welcome back to the Giants Broadcast Network. Here again, we are sorry that we lost you for a little bit. It said we were live, and we said we had all of you guys with us, and we are glad we are now finally all back together for the end of this game. It was a great inning from the Giants. 6 runs scored, brought the lead all the way down to 1 from the T-Bolts. Back on the mound is Cromwell. He finished well for the Giants last inning. It was a quick one. They had 2 scoreless innings after scoring in 3 out of their first 4. A big swing and a miss there for strike 3. That was Nolan Cuntney going down swinging. Some nice off-speed low in the zone. That is the 3rd time we have seen Cromwell with a punch-out with that low off-speed. And again, a breath of life from the Giants has got things going for them.
The offense was going in the top of the 6th, and so far Cromwell's arm is going here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's see if he continues that.
Starts off with that off-speed pitch again. Not able to find the zone there. But now is Struvenot. Struvenot is making a lot of plays out there. However, Danny Orr got one over his head finally last inning, which was the start of the real action in the 2-out rally. He brought in the first 2 runs, then scored himself not too far later. That's a shot. Struvenot goes far foul. 1-2.
And some encouraging words coming from the Thunderbolts dugout for Struvenot. He had to watch a ball go over his head defensively, and now hopes to make up for that offensively.
Zach White keeping a ball from getting by him in the dirt. Yeah, the T-Bolts were loud and proud for most of this game. Got quiet last inning and got riled up again as it ended. So back to their old usual selves as Struvenot faces a 2-2 count and a strike 3 swinging back-to-back for Cromwell. And as you mentioned, the Giants getting life offensively and defensively. Cromwell has not given up a walk, something we saw a lot of from the first 2 Giants pitchers. We have the camera booting back up. And Kim has fought back to 2-2. This is the shot to Hentz at shortstop. A weird bounce. Hentz able to field it, though. Gets a skip. Gets the throw. The throw was there in time, but it bounced out of Rudisil's glove. And we just came back. But a nice play from Hentz, especially on a tough bounce. Rudisil just didn't close his glove quick enough. Hentz didn't even see it. Was jogging into the dugout. And a possible 2-out rally for the T-Bolts here. See if Cromwell's able to close it out. He was perfect up until then. So catcher Jack McCarthy's up. You can tell it's him just by the color of his jersey.
Does the dirty work for this T-Bolts squad.
1-0, not a first pitch strike this time. Quickly makes up for it with the second pitch strike. That one just clipping the inside of the zone. One. And that off-speed, the off-speed we have seen all day today. Not just from Cromwell, but from Tseronis and Willis. This was a shot up the middle. However, right to Marino. Flips over to Hentz for out number 3. Some nice fielding. That one was ripped off the bat. Marino saw it all the way into the glove. A backhand shovel to Hentz ends the inning. And the Giants with a successful 6th inning. Look to continue that in the 7th. Held the T-Bolts scoreless once again as they try to take the lead back. We'll see if they do when we return on the Giants Broadcast Network. You ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Giants broadcast as we return with Brady Powell leading it off for the Giants. Of course, last inning ended with a Nate Henley strikeout with bases loaded. Not before the Giants put up 6 runs. So, yeah, they entered last inning. They were down 10-3. Enter this one down 1. Not as much work they have to do, but still work to be done. That's 2 strikes looking to Powell, and he's quickly down 0-2 to Presky. Presky didn't have the best of innings in the 6th, of course. Looking to change that here as a chopper is hit to third base, and it is fair. Unfortunate for Erd. I believe that ball bounced on the plate. I don't know if you saw better than me, Collin. Not the plate. Sorry, third base.
It was close to that third base. It seemed to come off with a weird hop and not able to get his glove under it was Erd. So certainly something that Brady Powell's happy about, that ball is a oblong bounce away, and he's the tying run on first.
Yeah, you saw his speed there, and that is quick for Presky. A quick outing. That is not what I was expecting from the T-Bolts coaching staff, but nevertheless, we'll have a new pitcher entering the game. Our what could be closer seems to be wearing number 13. I believe this is Bryce Green. He is a senior out of FIU. He stands at 6'3", 190. And Collin, why don't we stay around to just kind of talk about what has occurred in the past 3 innings of baseball. You know, the T-Bolts take a big lead, have back-to-back innings with 7 runs scored in all of them. And then a scoreless inning between that brings us to last inning where the Giants scored 6 runs, all with 2 outs.
And this is where games are made. It's the end that you have this game, you have this lead this whole time, and now you have to fight to maintain it because it's gotten to 1 run. You can't be comfortable. We talked about chip away mentality from the Giants, and they began that chip away effort. It's the T-Bolts. They're going to have to go to their bullpen. They're going to have to get their bats alive if they want to put this one away.
Yeah, as I said, that was a quick change, a very quick night from Presky that brings in Green. Green has a 2-1 record. He has 6 appearances, no starts. He's got 11 innings pitched. He's got 18 strikeouts and 9 walks. So a very reliable guy. However, has an ERA of 5.72. However, a strikeout-heavy guy. 1 the T-Bolts need to finish out this game. He'll be facing Danny Orr in a short second. Orr, this last at bat, as I mentioned, started the 2-out rally last inning with his double shot over Struvenot's head. So yeah, you talk about that chip away mentality. The Giants took a hack at the lead last inning. Much bigger chip than the T-Bolts were expecting, and they are now back on their heels with the way they were in the first inning. Of course, still have the lead, so they are on the high ground. We don't know for how much longer.
Well, Danny Orr, the gloveless wonder, he was a part of the party last time around. Let's see if he can, I'd say, strike lightning twice, but we've seen his bat alive all night.
Yes, Orr's bat has been alive for the greater part of the season. As you mentioned, the Iron Man of this team, leads almost all batting statistics. Of course, Jaden Brown was another elite hitter for this team, unfortunately suffered an injury, and we are just hoping and praying that we will get him back. Nevertheless, Orr filling in for now. Quickly 1-1, saw a high fastball, quickly followed up with some off speed in the zone. Deep breath there, and Powell takes off. We mentioned that. I believe it's his 17th steal on the season. He was there before the tag was able to be put in time. Wasn't a bad throw from McCarthy, just a great jump from the speedy left fielder.
And he sees that Nate Houghton-Henley is trying to catch up to him on the stolen bases, as Houghton-Henley's got himself to 10, and Powell reminds him who's king of running the path.
Orr up to bat now with another runner in scoring position. He succeeded a lot with this, and McCarthy seemed to be shaken up on that one a little bit. Couldn't hear any gear. I just think it hit maybe his open hand. Couldn't tell. He seems to be fine, kind of shaking off the umpire, telling him he's ready to go. Quickly 2-2, 0 outs. Possible punch out pitch here. Or makes a little contact with it. He's digging it out. Matthew gets there in time, though. He has been elite at second base today. Not one of the easiest plays. Made it look easier than it is. However, Orr able to advance Powell to third base. So the Giants have the tying run 90 feet away with only 1 out.
And not the outcome he wants from his plate appearance, but advances that tying run all the way to third base. So he's set up his team, only 1 out.
That one was 92. Some surprise speed we're seeing there. That was very shocking from Green. Lots of movement on that one, too. And follows that up with a 77-mile-per-hour pitch in the dirt. So a lot more variety in speed we're seeing in Green that we see today, making it tough for Rudisill. Big swing and a miss from Rudisill there. That one was 84, so not the fastest we've seen, but faster than the last pitch. And once again, the Giant is down 1-2. A pitch in the dirt, a foul ball, and seems to have caught the umpire on the hand. Takes a second for himself. McCarthy goes to meet with Green on the mound. Umpire's done so much good for us, not just him, all umpires. He can take all the time he needs. He'll spend it even brushing off the plate.
Get a quick clean. We saw one umpire go out. It was David and I on the call for that one. An umpire go out on injury. Actually, sorry, I had the solo call for that. Umpire got hit with a foul ball, and decided to step away and play it safe the rest of the game. So we always want to make sure that the guys in blue and black are okay. Even if you don't agree with them some of the time, Jake, very important for these games to happen.
We could not be here without them, so we now resume play and continue. Powell still standing on third, eager to come home and tie out this game for the Giants. Rudisil, big hack, and this one fouled off, and this time it hit McCarthy, so McCarthy's been hit twice. Our home plate umpire once. Rudisil is just out here taking bodies through all the commotion. Count remains 1-2.
That elusive tying run, it's out there on third. The Giants can't afford to leave him stranded.
And a strike three. That was that moving speed we saw earlier in this at-bat. That one only 85, not 92. Rudisil not happy with himself. Still, the Giants have an opportunity to bring in Powell. Cade Hentz comes up. Hentz had a RBI single. It wasn't a very routine hit in his last at-bat, but whatever works, works. As that one was very inside, turned Hentz around 180 degrees for ball one. Green delivers. That one way in the dirt, and Powell's heading for home, and he is there without a doubt, and this game is tied.
And sorry, go ahead, Jake.
I was just going to say, we entered the second inning tied, and since then, it has not been the same, and finally, all the way down the line in the seventh inning, we stand here 10-10.
And a problem for Gaithersburg all year has been the elusive run that they leave out on base. We've seen multiple times that base runners get stranded, either bases loaded or other scenarios, and they don't let it happen this time. They tie it up.
So yeah, with 2 outs, the Giants are going to start another rally. However, job is not done. They want the lead. So 3 balls in a row to Hentz. Green off his game a little bit. Green delivers that one down the pipe for strike one. Hence, he's been involved. He was involved in last inning's 2-out rally. We'll see if he can. He does continue it here with a walk. So now stepping up, Ryan Maxey. Maxey, a man who has struggled regarding his batting average, has been able to get on base a good number of times, however. He is a part of the 2-out rally last inning, trying to start one here.
Mentioned his on-base percentage is .339 this season.
So that one's way inside and just there, hit by a pitch. Maxey was hit by 2 last night and 1 today. So there's that on-base percentage. Another guy where if you throw it inside, he's not going to move out of the way. He's going to take that free base. And quickly, the Giants have 2 more runners on. Of course, the go-ahead run standing on second base. That's Cade Hentz. So now stepping up is Brady Ruiz-Weiss. Weiss has had some crucial at-bats. He's been up to bat with bases loaded twice. First time didn't go his way. Second time he made sure he didn't miss out. Oh, and that outside curving pitch we've seen a couple of times. Looks to be a 2-seamer. One came in at 91. It's been very effective in his half inning. Weiss able to hold off that one. So 3-0, and then follows it up with a strike right down the middle. Weiss wasn't thinking about swinging. He's going to make Green earn his strikes. Now Weiss looking ready to swing. This one is shot up the middle once again. However, this time it's fielded by Gill, and the inning is over. So the Giants can't take the lead, but they tie up the game once again. They have had 7 unanswered runs. Now we enter the bottom of the 7th. T-Bolts looking for a response. They have had 3 scoreless. We'll see if that streak continues or if they take back the lead once we come back on the Giants Broadcast Network. All right, ready?
Can this guy sit down? Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Giants Broadcast Network. My name's Jake Tseronis, alongside Collin Smith. We are here in the bottom of the 7th. Yes, so now Josh Erd up to bat. Erd has been one of the most, if not the most productive hitter for the T-Bolts today. Quickly down 1-1, but he had a 2 RBI triple that was, at the moment, looked to be the sword in the heart for the Giants, but they have crawled their way back. A big swing and a miss from Erd there. Nice pitch inside. Still Cromwell on the mound for the Giants. He's been lights out so far. As another inside pitch, this one gets enough of it. Maxey going to field the ball, makes a throw over to Rudisil, and as I mentioned, Maxey has been a unit there at third base. Not much gets by him, and it doesn't get by him there. Quick first out in the bottom of the 7th.
And the Giants' defense has come alive just as much as their offense has. Cromwell's been fantastic on the mound, as you see. Not a lot of power has been taken off of any pitches. We haven't seen any deep balls questionable for the outfielders, Reese, Weiss, Houghton, Henley, Powell. It's been some infield dribblers like that one and strikeouts.
And this one, a chopper to Aiden Marino, fielded clean and a much easier out this time. So a quick 2 for the Giants as momentum seems to be swinging their way heavy. The T-Bolts look for any sort of life with 2 outs. It's Vance Bonnier stepping up to the plate again. Bonnier started his day being hit by a ball 3 times. That one shot way foul and popped out in his 4th at-bat. Cromwell's only added 2 more strikeouts to his tally, but he has not allowed the T-Bolts to get anything going offensively. That was some nice off-speed there, just a little outside of the zone. Got some noise coming from the Giants bullpen. Not the noise Cromwell doesn't want to hear. That's another ground ball to Maxey. Fields this one cleanly, an extra step, and a nice pick from Rudisil gets the out. That duo has been unstoppable as of recently, shows it there. And we will go into the top of the 8th. The game is still tied. The Giants looking like the better team as of recently. We'll see if they're able to continue this on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Zach White's been up all night.
You ready?
Yep.
Welcome back to the Giants broadcast. My name is Jake Tseronis alongside David Lewis, and we are here. Excuse me, not David Lewis. I'm next to Collin Smith. Excuse me, I was in the zone there.
You and I haven't done a game in a minute,
I was just gonna say
it's fair.
It's been a very long time since me and Collin have been together. However, we are here for a great one. The last time we were here, I believe the Giants just fell 1 run short of the T-Bolts. They are looking to avoid that here. They have currently scored 7 unanswered runs against the T-Bolts. Looking to add to that number here is Zach White leading us off. First pitch, Zach White sees it's in the dirt. Still Bryce Green on the mound for the T-Bolts. He's done well in his short outing so far. A lot more speed, excuse me, not faster speed we've seen in him than other pitchers. So he hits the dirt at 91 again.
Speeds there, needs to find this zone. I feel like Zach White's been up to bat so many times. We talked about him improving his batting average.
Yeah, Zach White's first 2 at-bats were ones to forget. He had a strikeout looking that he didn't agree with and a pop-out. But his last 2, he's got a single and a hard-earned walk, both of those being very crucial to the Giants' score right now. As he sees a 4-pitch walk there. Green has been struggling to find the strike zone this game. A lot of 3-0 counts. Usually able to get that strike 1. This time doesn't. And the go-ahead run is on base for the Giants.
And Marino steps up to the plate. Him and Zach White were part of that party starter for that 7-run rally.
As Zach White fakes the steal, that was a little comical, but got a smile on his face. Marino fouled that one off. And there's some laughs from the T-Bolts dugout. I think everyone got a little laugh out of Zach White's movement.
Marino squared for that bunt. Let's see if he goes again.
Yes, that bunt shown. This one in play, hit right to go, just out, but I mean,
He's doing the money ball strategy right now. He can't watch the game when they're in a rally, but he does love bunts. So again, apologies for the camera cutting out.
There's only so much here that we can do at Montgomery Blair. Like as I mentioned earlier, not me and Collin's favorite spot, but we're going to get the job done here as we come to a close. That one way inside on Hought and Henley. Henley started off hot, has been on a cooler his last 2 at-bats, looking to get back into the hit category, or at least, again, still these high speeds, but lack of strikes we've seen from Green.
Bryce Green's really been struggling to find the zone so far. He 4-pitch walk on Zach White, and then Marino with the bunt attempts.
As Henley looked to just get ready a little late on that one as it fell down the middle for strike one. Green looking for his second strike. This one is chopped and is going to find the gap between Erd and Gill. Zach White is held up at third base, but now the Giants lead only 90 feet away. And Henley has been in this position with a runner on third while he's at first. He stole second the last time. I'm sure he'll steal second again as Brady Powell comes up.
And it was a good jump from Benier in left field to get up to that ball quickly enough that Zach White wasn't able to round 4 and give Gaithersburg the lead.
Yeah, Gill looked like he was going to get there, just snuck by him. However, Zach White remains on third. So this time, Gill showing some off-speed and finds the strike zone. That one coming in at 76 miles an hour on the inside corner. A throwback to Henley.
Henley's so fast, he didn't even have to dive there.
I was just going to say the same thing. Henley doesn't really like to dive back. I don't know if he doesn't like it or if he doesn't have to, but usually sprints his way back to first when thrown back. Seems to be in the head of Green. As this one is shot up the middle. Not able to get through. It's picked up by Gill. Thrown over to Matthew Kim. However, Powell safe at first base. And the Giants have also gained the lead back from the top of the first inning with Zach White jogging in on home. It was a nice effort from Gill and Kim to try to get the double play. Powell was just much too fast for that.
And Powell hits into that fielder's choice, but it's also a bit of a sacrifice RBI because Zach White rounds home, and you talked about his sacrifices last night. This time he gets to stay on base, so it was a little reward.
A big swing and a miss. We've seen a lot more off-speed from Green these last two at-bats. Seems to be working as Danny Orr steps up. Danny Orr, a pair of doubles with an RBI. The second one got 2 RBIs as Powell takes off. This is a shot from Danny Orr. He throws his bat as he knows that is far too high as Scrivenaut was back in the top of the first. We'll see if they're able to hold off just enough for the T-Bolts. Got a little more fight in them when we come back on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Again, the concession stand will close.
All right, you ready? All right. Welcome back to the Giants broadcast as we enter the bottom of the 8th inning. The Giants gained their long-lost lead in the top of the 8th. At one point, they were down 10-3, and they've come all the way back with 8 unanswered runs. Leading off for the Thunderbolts, it is, I believe it is big man Brady Grimes. Yes, it is. He has a big swing and a miss, a low off-speed from Cromwell. Cromwell has been the saving grace of the Giants this game. He was the 3rd pitcher to enter this game in what looked like be a 4 or 5 pitcher game, but he has carried the load ever since he's been in, delivering 2 low off-speed pitches for strikes. As I mentioned, Grimes hasn't had the best day at the plate. Strikes out swinging here. 3 of the same exact pitches. He goes down on all 3 of them.
And you mentioned Cromwell, a saving grace of sorts. He has been electric since coming out of the bullpen, absolutely shoving. Seeing him get these, we haven't seen a lot of power. We mentioned we've seen strikeouts and we've seen small dribblers that have been handled well by Bryce Rudisil on first base.
Yeah, going in there, Grimes threw his helmet into the dugout, just showing the frustration of this T-Bolts team, losing an 8-run lead relatively quickly. Most of the 80% of the work was done in one inning, and, not able to respond to that. It's definitely tough to come back, especially when the other team is just gaining momentum by the pitch. As Driscoll steps up to the plate once again. Driscoll now seen 3 balls in a row, so a cooler of an at-bat for Cromwell. Pitch outside, 4-pitch walk. And the T-Bolts tying run is now on base. Some life from their dugout once again as Nolan Cutney steps up to the plate. Another guy who has not had the most production offensively today.
Interesting from Cromwell on the mound. He has a 3-pitch strikeout and then delivers 4 pitches completely different outside the zone.
You see Cromwell, you can see there he went back to the off speed. That one in the high part of the zone fouled off by Cutney. Umpire resumes play. Cromwell shakes one off again, and Zach White gives some signs as long with the call, and that low off speed. Once again, swing and a miss. That pitch has been lights out. Has the T-Bolts looking like some golfers out here. 0-2. That one far too much in the dirt. Zach White does what he's been doing all night. Keeps it in front of him. Still a long way to go if you're Cutney. Giants turned a double play early last game. They struggled with that against the Big Train 2 games ago. Turning one here would end the inning. As this is the chopper to Maxey, thrown over to Marino. Marino not able to hold on to it, just lost sight at the last second. Skipped right over his glove, and Collin, I really thought I spoke that into existence. I was getting towards the edge of my seat. Unfortunately, just a millisecond of a mental error from Marino.
I thought you spoke that into existence perfectly, just as you had said. It was poetic as the words came out of your mouth. We saw the turn throw happen, but mistake made in the infield. Luckily, not too much damage done as Brady Ruiz-Weiss quickly got to it, and base runners didn't take any extras.
Yeah, definitely a crucial moment for the Giants. Again, only a 1-run lead, a lead they just gained, and with that hit, with that error, more life has been gained in the T-Bolts dugout.
Especially with one out on the board and needing 1 run, they're in a dangerous position.
As the man with the big yellow bat steps up again, it's Caleb Struvenot. Struvenot seen 2 balls to start his at bat, and I'd be shocked if you guys could not hear the Thunderbolts dugout. Oh my! And the big yellow bat has left the hands of Struvenot. That just again that low off-speed pitch has the Thunderbolts swinging at air, and Struvenot just got caught a little too much of it there.
And I love are you doing the Curious George
course,
on purpose? I love the reference from you. That back got a little curious and headed towards the Gaithersburg dugout.
Yes, that was a very curious swing of Struvenot there. Still just counts as a regular strike. And again, that off speed just looks beautiful from where we're sitting. Collin goes down as a strike there again, back to 2-2.
And one more Curious George reference. That bat went upside down, just like the theme song by Jack Johnson.
2-2, 1 out, runners on first and second. Giants leading by 1. That pitch comes in. And the Giants thought they had strike 3. Umpire disagrees. The count's full. Full count. Still 1 out. Cromwell versus Struvenoff. Cromwell gets a piece of that. Diamond play from Cade Hens. Gets the out at second base. I could not keep praise of the middle infield from the Giants out of my mouth this past 3 games. That was a great play. It had Noah Cuntney slam his hand before jogging back to the dugout. Hens was on all fours fielding that ball. Shovel pass to Marino gets out number 2.
We've talked about washing jerseys all night. We mentioned McCarthy who's in the on-deck circle. His needs it.
Oh my goodness.
And now Hens doing the dirty work, showing a little bit of grit and grime out on the dark blue road jerseys for Gaithersburg.
I don't know if you can see from the camera, but McCarthy's jersey is creating layers of dirt, their own layers, and I don't even know if to say it anymore. It was, you guessed it, an off-speed pitch low in the zone that had a T-Bolt swinging at air. This time it's Matthew Kim. Of course, with that last ground out by Struvenoff, the T-Bolts have advanced a runner to third. That's Aiden Driscoll. Time is called by catcher Zach White. Counts 1-1. Kim takes some deep breaths before stepping back into the box. He's got a really nice all red bat. Looking to tie up this ball game. And that is a foul ball. It is a check swing. Kim with a disappointed look. That ball would have either flown by him or hit him. Fortunately,
it looked like that ball might have still clipped him. He clearly was upset with the swing through on what would have been a ball.
Yeah, I thought I would have seen more of a reaction. I thought it might have hit him for a second. Still goes down as a strike. And Cromwell now with a chance to retire the side. And he does just that, a low off-speed pitch outside. He has been lights out, nothing short of it. Keeps the Giants 1-run lead heading into the top of the 9th. The Giants have one more opportunity to get some insurance going into the bottom of the 9th. And Collin, you said it earlier, it's been a long game, not just of baseball, but of us dealing with pesky technology. But it has been a great one with that. The Giants coming all the way back from 10-2, looking to add to that here.
An exciting 9th inning ahead. Stay tuned with us.
Yeah, we will be back after a short break on the Giants Broadcast Network.